Do I have a mic? Do I have a mic? Sooner or later I will. Big Grooves, what's up? Smoke Shop, what's up? Smoke got something coming, huh? What's up, Johnny Lathes? How you doing? How you guys doing? So today we're gonna be sacrificing the wisdom. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Joking. So let's see if we're gonna behave on this day. Not powering on. Powered on. Blinking. This won't hurt a bit if you could just turn your head to the left a little bit and cough. Excellent. Now we are bonded forever. I just love this little desert. I swear I want to clip them on and hang on to them everywhere. Little desert. Let me just put them on this necklace like I had them. No, I don't know how I had them on there. Yay! All right, let me tell you what's happening. Yesterday I put some finish on this, and I got some runs that I didn't see, and then I put some more finish on it, and then I began to see a lot of scratches from the initial shaping, and I can't. And it's just in the handle, and it's superficial, but the glosser it was, the more evident it was to me. I don't like it. I'm gonna fix it. So that means we're just gonna resand the handle. We're gonna do this by hand, just so that we are as accurate as we can be. Um, yeah, and I think I'm just gonna start that with the 220, and then we'll see what it looks like after that. We'll probably spritz it a little bit, and then that way we'll see what it looks like with some sheen, and that'll uncover any little unpleasantries we might be experiencing along the way. I'm thinking about covering this blade just for my own dumb safety sake, but I swear I hate pulling tape glue off. That's all right. I'll do the tape glue. Let's just be as safe as possible so we can go as efficiently as possible. Do this first. Salute to Lil West. What up, bro? Oh, and yo, Scoot told me to. Sorry, Siege told me to check this out. After I put them in a wash yesterday, and I did. What I checked out was Stu glows in the dark, fam. His eyes and the mallet's eyes glow in the dark. It is hilarious. Oh, better gift I have never known. Have never known. Just a straight up free gift. What a wonderful thing. Ugh. I mean, it doesn't hurt that it's me. I mean, my ego likes that a lot, you know. Everybody likes a portrait of themselves. All right, I think that'll be enough to keep us safely engaged. All right, let us begin. Craig Posh. What up, Craig? Boy. Yeah, what you up to, Craig? You always doing something interesting. What is it? Are you cruising right now? Or are you back home? Are you in the shop? What are you doing? Always good. Awesome. There you are. You're always nice too. Except for that time you were ageist hazing me. But that was hilarious. Yeah, I'm gonna take it all the way down, peoples. It's gonna look aggressive. Because it is. It's a little aggressive. The thing about an issue with your finish is it can be a little problem, but if it's a little problem that originated 3 steps ago, you know, it becomes a larger problem, obviously. What are you doing hanging out here? Get out of the way. Scam likely. Spice Boys was hilarious. I don't know that I ever seen nothing like that. I don't know that I never heard of nothing like that. Spice Boys, what you children talking about? Just hanging out. Hang out. And I think I'm gonna pull it all the way down, like because I don't know how much of this finish um, is gonna change when it's layered. You know what I mean? Like 2 layers of finish versus 3 layers of finish might look different. And if some places I get down to the wood and some places I don't, I risk an inconsistency that I am unwilling to risk. What I'm pretty certain of, though, is probably very excited about getting to the end of this knife and just like, let me go, let's go, let's go, let's go. The old brain went into autopilot on the stuff we've done so many times over. Now, this is an interesting thing about a burl. You see me swirl sanding, which is not something you ordinarily see me doing. But this is a burl, which means there is no wood grain to follow. If there were a wood grain, then we'd be trying to run it the length of the blade for just aesthetic and strength, right? And we'd sand that way. However, if we got a burl that's swirling and we're doing all straight lines, that's going to be apparent. The reason that it works so well going with the grain is for that reason, that you're going with the grain. You can disguise a certain amount of your scratches sanding causes. So here the burls are more random than that. So I'm going to go with my swirls. I'm going to hit my corners in the most efficient way that I can, but also rounding those edges as I go. And I'm going to spend quite a bit of time with this 220 because I'd like to go smaller, but I'm worried that smaller is where I got those gouges from, or those scratches from. So in this case, I want to stay sort of high, I guess, on the lightness scale, so I don't just start tearing shit up. It's weird going from such a nice, finish to taking it back to this again. But that is the part, if you're going to do it right, if you're going to, as right as I know how to do it, I should say. There may be more seasoned folks in particular arenas that have better education, but I'm going to do it as well as I know how to do it. I know if I take it back down, and I'm particular about how I put this finish on, then I won't have to come correct things on it. And if I'm more particular, anything about how the beginning of the finish is the sanding, right? And you can glass up anything after the fact, but if it's all beat up underneath, you got a problem. And it's not going to go away, no matter how much gloss you put on it. In fact, it's going to magnify with the gloss. So we had to cut the back side of this pretty aggressively because we also cut the metal with it. So here, on these corners in particular, we had some pretty heavy scratches that showed up when the gloss finish hit it. But my theory is even a show horse ought to be able to pull a sled, you know what I'm saying? Because the horse first. The horse first. So I try for my knives to be pretty, but not before I let it be a knife. Spend a lot more time on the blade than you do on the handle, for sure. Just gotta put a thought into both to end up with an effective knife. Did something just bite me? So my delicious. I'm going to take this up to the probably 320. I might even go to 400. This Madrone seems to be able to take it. Um, but because of the mix we're using, it's not going to be a slippery knife, even if it's a gloss finish. Motor mistakes, he is refinishing the handle, hence the title. Juan, what's going on? Working in the pouring rain. Ugh. Sure, there's a song in there. Ugh. Puts 2 bullets in the monitor and wonders how that helps. Oh, Moto, let's talk about it. Here's what I did is I have scratches beneath my finish, and they became apparent once I had my finish on. To remedy that, I am going to have to pull this finish, which I'm doing now. But I am doing it with a relatively high grit, 220, so that I don't create new ones when I break through that barrier, and that we can go straight to the sand. Part of the concern here is that this is a Madrone burl, which is just a magnificent piece of wood that I got from Cobb Mountain Woodworks. And thing about a burl is it's swirly. It is not straight in any way. So when you go straight, like you would ordinarily with wood grain, then you create a pattern that looks very unnatural. And swirling sanding and oscillating sanding is usually not the idea with woodwork unless you're on a big surface. But in this case, with the burl, following the grain is an impossible task. But going in one direction against all the grain is a visible issue. Swirly burly. I'm missing a little bit of y'all's conversations because my hands are dusty and I don't want to scroll back. But I'm sorry if I am. Thanks, Benners. I'm glad that came through. I do not generally view myself as a teacher. But I'll sit in the chair until that guy shows up if I need to. I think I am gonna need to tape up the the edge of this knife because I don't have to worry about a slurry damaging it, but I do have to think about sandpaper hitting that edge, that blade. That's up to I think 3,000 grit. So a 220 on it would look crazy. So we may tape it up here in a second. That last little bit. So I am thinking, um, if we're doing some, I've got some people on my Mallet Wars radar, I believe. Um, Benner's potentially being one of them. I'm so bad at returning emails, man. I'm so bad at it because I'll check them on my phone, and then by the time I get to my laptop to actually respond, because I don't like to type emails on my phone because it's cumbersome um, to me. But I get to my computer, and as soon as I'm on it, I am immediately watching my friends on YouTube. Ah, anyways, I read y'all's emails. I just am a jackass and don't respond to them efficiently. Life in the fast lane. Yeah, man, when that light hits it, it shows up. And I want to make sure I got a durable finish. So I want some coats on this. This is a knife, to my understanding, it's going to be used, and that means it's going to be washed quite a bit, or it's going to be gross if it's not. So it's going to be washed, and we want to make sure the wood beneath not only look good, but looks good again with just some light soapy water. My back when I was roofing, when I was 19, 20, um, I had a boss who eventually became my father-in-law, and he used to say, if you think it's tough doing it the first time, Imagine saving yourself 5 minutes, but then you got to come back and redo everything the next day. What are the chances that you're going to try to save that 5 minutes again? Always takes more time the second time if if you don't take the proper time the first time. And it's just hard for me to send something out if I know I could do it better, if I know I can correct it, if I think it'd be better with that correction. You do it 9 times out of 10. That 1 time out of 10 I don't is probably going to be free to whoever it went to. We want to make sure we're getting through that pilot. We don't want to just be scuffing up the surface. We want to get through it. I'm thinking about the ergonomics, so there's a lot of little, crevices here that we can't just machine through. Hey, thanks, Mrs. Earl. Better try again. How you doing? What's going on? You want to carve the head of a Viking ship? That might be awesome, dude. Oh, you in the right place, man. There's a lot of people with some experience in here. Definitely. But let's start off with what kind of wood you're using for it, you think? You think the mallet swap wars would be fun with a twist? Was thinking of trying to get a word out this week to give everyone a full weekend plus some with the heat and all. The problem I'll just tell you what I personally run into with a mallet swap wars is that some, not all, me being one, is that we make them like I'm willing to make a bunch of mallets. I'm willing to make 20 mallets because two things are happening. One, I'm perfecting my techniques and I'm getting to experiment different ways. I'm learning about the wood, giving me more practice on the tools that I want to work on, and I can sell them. I if I win someone's mallet, the likelihood that I'll ever use it slim to none because it'll be more like homage for me, right? And you know, depending on what you're using that mallet for, they don't all last forever. So I would more likely not use it, and I would never sell it, and the mallet that did go out from me, I would have lost whatever I had into it. So I'd end up with a shop full of other people's tools that I won't ever use. You know what I mean? In the swap. Head of a Viking ship, very cool. My ancestors were Vikings, says Miss Earl. Craig says my family, ours was Norway, bought into UK as a kid. Oh, okay. And I think Craig, you've been to Norway. You go to Norway fairly often then, because you do have family there, correct? Greenwood is best for carving if possible. Absolutely. Ms. Earl says some of her family were first generation in U.S. from Norway. Craig says I have a farm, so getting wood is all good. Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, Craig, you'll be good with that, man. And then I'm sure that the native species and things over there that people are aware of will be good for that. I think ash is plentiful there. Um, Basswood um, is what we call it. I forget what you guys sometimes call it something else. But it's great for carving. Um, Craig, you'd probably be really good at carving with all that work you've done in your shop. Like you're good with three-dimensional. I love your mallets, Wes. Super cool. Thank you. Now, here's what we can do, Benners. Now, I can host it, and then you guys can decide if you want to do a mallet swap. That might be fun. I just wouldn't be as interested in the mallet swap because I'm quickly running out of real estate over here in my shop walls and storage space. And I don't know, like, yeah. Hmm. I like swaps when they're like maybe specialty things, like they do this, I do that. You know what I mean? But if we're all making mallets, a lot of woodworkers just make their own mallet and keep it and get stuff with it. But not everybody is trying to do what I'm trying to do. I will await your replies. Are you trying to stay historically correct, Craig? It's a good question. Well, his family's there, probably reasonably so. You know the weird thing about having a YouTube channel, the thing I find weirdest is there's a little pressure to sort of entertain or host, make sure everybody's uncomfortable and is comfortable. There's Mr. Freud. And engaged, but at the same time trying to do the thing and then hold multiple conversations. And the silence on my end is different than the silence on the viewer end. And then sometimes I just realize I haven't said anything for 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh no. Hmm. It's a weird kind of pressure that I don't know that I've ever had anywhere else. I'm going to hit some buttons on this screen, y'all, and that's going to change things for me in terms of what I can see. But it is also going to allow me to see all of your chats. So I think that's better. I think I'm going to get some modeling clay. And because I've been trying to make a rabbit or a hare for Craig. And the ideas that I kind of get along the way, I want to do fast to see if they're going to work at all. But you can't just carve a figure fast. I can't carve a figure fast. Carve a figure fast. So I think if I get some clay, I can at least shape it fast, get the idea. And then once I've done it in three-dimensional clay, should be able to carve it 3D wood. I'm sorry if that sounds dumb. Probably sounds stupid. You don't know what you're talking about, Chris. All right, here we go. Bumping it up right here just because I got a couple of good layers, and I was gonna half-ass try to leave them on, because the bottom really wasn't that bad. But trying to tie in is crazy. Get it all down. Get it all where it should be. Best you can. Period. Period. Oh man. I am for the miracles today, man. I feel like it's miracle season. You know what I mean? Maybe you can carve a bar of soap first. Yeah, that's a good idea. Banana soup monkey, what up? 666, man, it's been a minute. You have a good day too, Pop. Love it when my folks drop in and say, hey, shouts to you. so much better. Look so much better. Look so much better. Better, 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 better. Bada bing. Baby, you can do it. Take your time, do it right. And then the other part about doing something like this is detailed enough. You really don't hold a sense of time while doing something like this. So it's not like you're going to be anxious because it's taking time. Maybe other people will. But your brain will be learning. It will be learning. All right. Now we bump this thing up. Shout outs to my shout outs to Big Butte. My roster partner hit me up this morning. Every time I get off the phone with him, I'd be jealous of his accent. That shit sounds so cool. Hey, thank you, Banana. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know you're gonna get the smiles for that one. Thank you. Spin around and tell people thanks. Thank you, Banana Supermarket. Awesome. We done got us a cup of coffee up in this piece. We love you too, fam. Real talk. Craig is a newbie to the carving. Did you see that little bug lightning is just doing some carving now? I think she's gonna be one of those people that's kind of naturally good at it too, or evolutionary. How do you say that? I think she's developed some talents, some skills, and some other things that are gonna translate well to carving. Craig, you as well, and then obviously dealing with hair, you automatically there's some sculpting, just different tools and different mediums. And I couldn't imagine a more fickle medium than hair. It's like a thousand, a good, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of parts moving, gentle, delicate parts, forming one cohesive sculpture you see in your head. Pretty impressive, buddy. Pretty impressive. especially a guy like you who doesn't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? You very clearly could have just gone the easy route and been a model yourself. But you're like, no, no, I'm gonna work. I'm not just gonna be gorgeous. I'm gonna work. Hats off to you. This is a 320 grit right here. I'm gonna hit the whole knife with it. And I might even go higher with this one. I might even go higher. Because it seems to still be sanding. Rather than burnishing. You know what I'm saying? If you know the difference. Just post it to the community. You should call it a pizza in advance. When you slide it. Let me see. Oh no. Oh yeah, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that spoon. I'm sorry, I didn't say any of that out loud. Freedom, thank you. Freedom Heart Farm. Appreciate that. Sorry I missed your comment. Especially since it is all complimentary to me. I can't tell if this is finish. It needs to come off there or what. It can't hurt to go a little bit firmer on it with this light stuff that I got right here. Just getting into some of the more penetrated wood, I think. That's all. Does make it a lot easier to handle this thing with that blade covered up. And I know you already knew that. I realize that every time I hold this thing with my stomach, I keep it steady. Because then I don't, puncture my lung. I'm like, oh yeah, that is better. I used to dislike sanding a lot. Then after a while, I like it and then don't want to do it for years. You've never seen me sand. Someday you are hilarious. I think you meant that the opposite. Like I haven't seen him do jack but sand. You're in the sand capital of the YouTube community right now. We're a nation built on sanding. We sand. Our fathers sanded before us. Their grandfathers before them. We all come here and observe the old ways. Mm. I remember when I was a kid, I was always like this. Like I remember getting a bike and being so excited about that bike. Right? My parents was very good at making me think I wasn't gonna get the stuff that I wanted, like every year. And they were very good at getting it nonetheless. And so one year I got this bike. And the second I got it, like we go riding, it's got all the stuff. Like finally, they got me something that was exactly what I wanted it to be, not some dumb version that was something else. And immediately I learned that there were two kinds of kids in the neighborhood. Their bikes. There were the kids who had really nice bikes and we polish them up, clean them up, or whatever. And then there were the kids that couldn't wait to take them apart, couldn't wait to fit a new thing on them. You know what I mean? Could not wait to. And I was one of those kids. I realized I'm one of those kids that just wants to make it my own. I'm going to adjust my handlebars to tilt this way. I'm going to get my seat with a little bit less lean than what you got on your seat. You know what I mean? If I can get my hands on a rattle can for paint, all y'all in trouble. You keep track of projects and the time they take? I make mental note of it. I don't. Otherwise, no, not usually. Not usually. I will occasionally do that when it comes to because I don't repeat things. So every build is different, but I am starting to sort of track how long this part takes, how long that part takes, if all goes well or whatever else. But that's kind of the thing about getting good at something. You get good at it first, and then you get efficient at it. And you can't get efficient at it until you've been good at it for a period of time, So I try to just take my time and do a good job, knowing that I might not be exactly cleaning up on the financial end of it. but I will know a good product. I will get faster. I will get better. And as long as I'm sending out something that's pretty top tier for me, then I'm pretty happy uh, with the idea of that. I'm gonna hit this one with a little water. A little water. That's gonna give us some idea where we at with some of this, right? Because I don't want to see these lines. I want to make sure. That's also going to raise my grain up too, and it's going to knock off whatever fibers or extra stuff like that. It'll give us a better idea if there's more to do now or not. And wet, dry sandpaper by the time you get to 600 grit, um, it can handle the water just fine itself. So. Is that a bug flying around me? Oh, tell you what. Just suck you into the vortex of death. So this way we're getting wet. We're seeing if we got imperfections and flaws, we can watch that water hit the light over the surface and see if we got any scratches, scuffs, dings, etc. And we're getting a finish. Not a finish in the traditional sense of this is the end, but it's the start of what our finish is going to be. Because this is still a sandpaper. All right, we're going to take a quick look at it wet. Looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good, looks better, looks better, looks better, looks better overall. So we're gonna dry that, and then we're gonna tape this up, and then we're gonna start getting it prepped for that next level. Is this a circular saw blade? Yes, yes. This one is a circular saw blade. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Beard. Thank you, Beard Groups. Now we got something good. Now we got nice, raw, crystal clear. What's what is visible. I got a little bit here on the bottom to deal with. Got a little bit right there. I'm gonna hit that with a little bit of the sandpaper. Oh. I'm just sanding off the bottom of that. Just sanding off the bottom. I want that full tang nice and visible, nice and available. And hit it with the water. Hit it with that 600. And then try to wipe off whatever sand and debris we might have left behind. I think from here on, we can be pretty good. We can, in fact, get a little piece of 600 and do a dry sand on that. And if we do that, and I guess we can be completely. What is that, Greg? What is that, Greg? What is that? Don't know. Let me grab a new fresh Sliz Ice. 600 is plenty, 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 plenty fine for wood. Now, one thing you might have noticed, if you're super perceptive, is that I left that on that front, that gloss. Now, knives are truly a work of one of a kind. It's always amazing to see how Wes does it. Thank you. No Speed 92. This particular one is already bought. It's already bought. But I've got some others here. I've got some others here that are for sale. If you'd like to see. And I know, guys, I've been supposed to get a website up. I get some stuff photographed and then it gets sold. And then I'm like, oh, I can't put the sold stuff on the site. So I guess just being a member, you get to see almost everything. If you hashtag Woodtang Clan on here, on just YouTube, it'll pull up some shorts of mine with some knives that I've made, and they are available. I will, oh shoot, because this was drying the last time y'all saw it. Hey, Ooze, how you doing? Because it was getting finished the last time y'all saw this knife, I didn't put it in the sheath for you to see really what it looked like in there. You still won't get an idea of that with the finish off sanded like this, but I'll show you real quick. I was very happy with the fit. Yeah, I can't do it. I got the tape on and I got to put some more on it to protect it from the edge. But anyways, I did leave this on here because I want added protection. That's where we're going to get the most pressure. Stuff that gets cut is going to come back here, so I want more layers here than anywhere else. So I'm going to wipe this down. It just looks really good with the sheath. I really like it together. I'm going to wipe this down real good, and then we are going to tape up the front, and we're going to go ahead and get it going. I got to really get that website going so I don't have to put y'all on assignments to look at the knives and stuff for sale. So what I'll do is, see that little curvature right there? I'll make sure the top is stuck in straight and the bottom is stuck in straight. Let's go ahead and get this off here. Show you what I mean. right there and just curl it around. Because it's blue tape, it's a little bit pliable. And then you just start tucking it into the corner. And it'll fold over itself. Just worry about getting it tucked in that corner. And if it makes a little wrinkle up there, you can totally cut that off, or you can leave it, depending on what the circumstance is that you're working under. In my case, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna do this other side. Get this out of my way. Right quick like. But technically, I can go back and look at how long anything took because literally everything gets made on a live stream. So if I just go back and add up the time, I can usually figure it out. If I need it to. Maybe one day I'll need to. And we're all good. Okay, let's go ahead and get to the real deals. The good stuffs. Please hit the like button if you're in here. Just so that I can, win. I don't think I got another motive other than that. I just wanna do well. All right. We're gonna get our mix put together. I'm gonna get some gloves on my hands. And I think I'm gonna go with a little bit better raggery than what we have been typically using. Um, because I think my shop towels may not be ideal. Seems to like t-shirt type material for these types of finishes. So I'm gonna get just that. Just that I just don't have it near. I thought for sure I was gonna have like a work t-shirt, like right around the corner in the laundry room. But what I do have, a pair of scissors, a pair of gloves, and some microfiber. And I think those will do just fine. So I'm gonna cut me a little square of this microfiber cloth. Don't you do it. The microfiber in the wood shop is tough because it grabs sawdust like bad. And once it grabs it, it doesn't want to let it go. It's like Velcro for sawdust. It's a weird phenomenon. Yeah, beard grows exactly that. Take care, everybody. I gotta go make some runs and whatnot. I hope to see some videos and shorts soon. Indeed, my friend. You can always do the shorts hunt. They out there. Jump on a playlist and have at it. Cheers. Thank you for hanging out with us. All right, let's go ahead and make our mix. Let's get all of our bottles. What I have is a pre-made mix that I've already put all my ingredients into. Um, Boiled linseed oil, uh, some poly, wipe on poly, and mineral spirits. I'm going to put a little bit more gloss poly in this container. It's going to do two things. Obviously, it's going to add a little bit more gloss, but also it's going to add a little less drying time. It is an adventure for truth, for truth. Gage, welcome back, man. I hope you're feeling better. Jumped in the wood shop. Just gonna mix that up a little bit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Y'all are turning a different color. Hold on. I gotta get a charger because you're gonna cut out any minute. Charger emergency. All right. This is gonna disconnect you from my microphone, but I'll have the in-app microphone. The thing won't be cut off. Cough. Did you feel that? Excellent. Whew. That was stressful. Okay. I saved us. Whew. Oh, you good? I'm glad to hear it. Mr. Kevin, what's up? Had a celebration of life this morning. I'm getting ready for Home Guard, Honor Guard next week. Okay. Right on. Respect. Respect. So, I'm going to put our mixture on here. Maybe I should get you a little bit closer. Maybe. Possibly. Is it possible? Do I have Zoom? Oh, snap. I can zoom. I ain't even know. It's so dramatic, I know. Hey, Bug, how you doing? We were just talking about you behind your... being punished for my life. We were not talking about you behind your back, but we did talk about you. And you weren't here. So technically, we was talking about you behind your back. All right. Guess I fessed up. But I ruined that one, ladies and gentlemen. But
Tell you what, as soon as I wiped it off and looked at that wood, I knew I had made the right decision. I don't see any of those scratches anymore. I don't see any of those scuffs. I don't see damn question mark about whether or not time and care was taken. Not one. Oh, that's so good. Oh, I'm so much happier with that. Oh my God. Oh, I hope that don't sound vain. I'm really. Come on, man. Is that a finish? Is that a finish, dude? Alright, I'm gonna pull it back a little bit to within reason. I can't do jack with these gloves. Ugh. Already drying, already soaking in. All we do is pop on some more. Put a rag, trash free. Just wipe it again. Start at the end, pull it up here. I don't know. I liked it before. I love it now. It's drying so good, so fast. You just let it, you know. Mm. Whew. That's the hardest thing, is leaving it alone. Hey, Anthony, thank you. ATP across the pond. What up, dude? Yeah, I'm new here, but I've already seen a few knives you've made, and they're awesome, brother. I'm inspired to start making something like this. Absolutely. Bug, what we said about you was that you have carving knives now, and I would bet moolah that you're going to be good at it because you're already artistically inclined and you've already been experimenting in other mediums that require some vision and some execution. Similar, I think, to Craig Posh, who is considering some carving coming up, carving project. More of the good stuff. I'm talking about most that we're looking. Ooh. I just like how that lays down so good. Shout out to Echo Woodcrafts, um, who gave me this formula uh, that I have found so useful, so very useful. like to look at the spoon. You're loving your carving work? Right on. Why did my chat just do that jitterbug? Thanks, Beard Grooves. See, it did it for Rob too. Definitely I do all kinds of repairing work, but I'm a logger by trade and I climb and cut trees. But anyways, definitely nice blade. Oh, logger, man, y'all are tough. I was describing a situation to my wife the other day, and I used logging as like a backlog as sort of an example. That they get in the way, that when they fall in like a lake or something, or a river, how dangerous it is. Man, I never got into, I was never trained in anything tree. And my gosh, it's impressive. It's impressive. I've got a tree that fell in my backyard on the way to my creek, and it is not allowing me access to my creek because the top of the tree just snapped and fell, and it's just laying sideways across the property, and it doesn't affect us in any way other than I can't get to my creek that I like to go fishing. Shouts out to y'all, man. Mr. Rob, what's up? What is up? Ain't seen you in a minute. Yeah, ATP has a great mallet. If he's going to be in the mallet wars, he's absolutely welcome to do that too. I feel like I got to start setting some ground rules. We were kind of freestyling and having fun, which I still am all the way with. But if y'all do really want to make it a thing, then I can sit down and come up with some simple ways to organize it. This stuff dries so nice and smooth. So nice and smooth. Did I make that knife? I did. I made this knife from a saw blade. This stuff is drying incredibly fast. Incredibly fast. Someone earlier asked about knives and selling them, and I am. If anyone in the chat currently is interested in just seeing them for potential purchase, just let me know. I'll go over there and I'll fish them out and I'll lay them out for you. But I don't want to bore my regulars with it. If they've seen it or them, I think I'm going to take some of that spot to make them in the backyard and make some more hammers for some of these other carbon knives that we're working on. Or rehandle some of these cheap ones that are still good tools otherwise for the giveaway. For a mallet car build, you should need to share a video of you building said mallet. Oh, that would be a good idea. That would be a good idea. Or you just show your processes. Because that's really, really what it's about. Like for me, I'll tell you why and how we did the original Mallet Wars, me and Boring Guy DIY. It was basically just us challenging ourselves to do more interesting woodwork. And so we did the Mallet Wars, and it resulted in us both making some unique mouths and some unique content, and it was a good time. So I think that's an excellent way to go about it. A new one for the war. Oh heck yeah! So listen, two things. One, my laptop, which is how I'm seeing your chats, is doing the same thing my phone was doing with the battery right now. So give me 2 seconds to grab a cord for it. Organization is the only way to be a contract. No, I'm just kidding. Freestyle is the only way. Would you light up? Ooh, my secret, ooh, lightning in the skies. Feels like butterflies. Did you get it yet? Get it yet? Get it yet? Ooh, my secret. I remember that. Those guys were 13, 14 years old at the time. And now I'm 1,000 because they are all old too. This is drawing fantastic. Oh, don't you do that. Oh, fast hands. Whew. Every now and then this MMA comes in handy. Really make it choke mine. I love the green in the handle. Thank you, Anthony. I wouldn't be able to swap unless we're willing to pay the 300 in shipping. That's great side. Oh, because ATP is in France, my goodness gracious. Ah, it's what's going on, Big Mike. That blade is a perfect half heart, really nice. Oh, it kind of is. That would have been cool. Just a pair of them. Shing, shing. Sexy West got all the grooves out. Yeah. I'm gonna drop it. What are the knife materials here? Okay. I love saying this. Anybody who's been in here for 5 minutes has heard it. So I don't mind saying it again because I love saying it. Okay. My good buddy over at Cobb Mountain Woodworks sent me this Madrone burl in trade for some knives and other things he sent me. But the Madrone, this stuff, it's crazy. And the wild thing is this got struck by lightning. Tree got hit by lightning. I don't know how many hundreds of years old tree got struck by lightning, knocked some extra cracks in this thing. But that's Madrone, and the wood in between is a dyed cedar. No, it doesn't. The oil is Madrone is so good about that. It looks sus in the beginning, and you're a little bit like, man, I hope this turns out. The very first time I did something with it, I was like, I hope this turns out okay. It turned out okay. I'll show you the first knife I made with it. I sent to Cobb Mountain Woodwork. Shout out. This one, I wanted the live dead edge. Pink Panther, dead edge, dead edge. Okay. So I cut it straight off. Pink. and I found a piece that fit fingers. And then I added that, and there's some some brass rods in there to hold this bottom, just to add some support to that bottom. You know, they go up about that high. Just want to make sure I wasn't having any issues because I had to add some length. But that's the knife I made from it, and it is one of my favorites. I could use, these are always sort of drying. It takes a while for everything, the glue and all that stuff inside to dry. So in the meanwhile, they'll just keep showing up on these edges, and then you just have to keep knocking them down until it stops doing that once they're all fully cured. That's why I generally don't send them out until they're fully cured. That's cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. I thought I could only speak Spanish and English. Now I know Chinese. Deal? How'd you know Chinese? Now I can't say really. Gage, you didn't know you could speak other languages? You love to make the finger inside of the handle? Yeah. I like this knife. I'm gonna go ahead and do it real quick because this is drying and I got a second to do it, and I've got all my stuff right here. So let me hit this with a little day on the edge. And we've already sharpened this to sharp, so we're just gonna go with 3000 grit and roll it across the edge. To do two things: to add oil to it and to keep the rust off of it, in that this is not a conditioned air shop. And more than temperature that being an issue, the humidity can be. But I just like to keep these edges nice and proper. While that finish is drying. That 3000 grit, you're almost stropping. Ooh, don't cut your finger off, boy. Don't you do it. You need them fingers. You don't need those fingers. Yeah, French is a crazy language to learn for real. I get by in town, sitting at dinner with the family, and I get lost and then just start dreaming in my head. Oh man. That is so funny. I tell you, it's as an American, it's going to another language, to another country, that your language is not primary. And I've only done that once in Thailand. I suddenly understood why all foreigners just smile and nod. I don't know what you're saying, and you just don't want to be offensive, and you don't want to keep making people repeat. So you just smile and nod. And I think to myself in my head, I'll just figure it out. I'll just ask one of the family here later. I can hold it for another 20 minutes. Snagging that. got a tiny little fraction right on the edge of that blade. It's tiny. I don't know if the camera will focus on it. It's right there behind my glove. That is going to make me recut this entire edge. I'm going to have to. That's alright. That's something to do. And it's going to make this knife even better. Just going to have to do it. Can I heat it up and fix it? No. Hey, what you talking about, man? What disappeared? No. What I'm gonna have to do is file it flat all the way down to that break, to the bottom of that break, which is maybe a 1/2 mil. But that 1/2 mil is gonna take the entire edge off of this knife. But it's worth it, because while it's there, it's no good. We can't have it. We can't have it. How do I want to do it is the question. If I use a file, I'm going to need to put it in a vise. Yep. I could do that. I'm going to let this coat soak in a little bit more. And we're going to pop a vise in right here where we at. Get our finishing stuff off. We're hanging a left, y'all. We're making a left turn at the light. He spilled them. Then he made a move to an abandoned building. Alright, so we're going to do the old Sharpie trick. That might help us identify our discrepancy in the blade a little bit. I'm going to do it from this side first. And over the top. Can you see it better now? Yeah, you can see it better now, right there on the blade. And then we're going to do it over on this side. Just going to pull. Alright, there we are. Now, we are going to be putting dust in the air. So I am going to put that fan back on so it at least pulls some of it away. But for now, I'm going to put a mask on so you can hear me. And we're out of coffee, so God help us. This is belt sander paper. This is 80 grit, which is pretty heavy duty for metal. And this is 120 grit, which is also fairly coarse for metal. We're going to start with that and see if it even does what we want it to do. And of course, we're going to spray it with a WD. Give us a way to carry off whatever shaves we make. And again, a little more protection for the metal. Anything that gets opened up gets oil. Start with the 80, see if we need to go to a file or not. Trying to keep this relatively flat. As I'm looking down on it, I can see the break in between. And I'm just eyeballing that until that little hairline goes away. Now, order for me to do this, I can't just dig in this one spot. I'll make it dip. So I'm stretching this out. That's why I know I'm gonna end up cutting this whole edge again, because it takes it to do it. It has to be gradual, or else you'll see it or feel it. And you don't want a blade with abrupt changes in it. The blade is smooth. Treat the nearby movement the same way. You won't just focus on that one spot. Get it all for it. It's a very rough sand, so we're gonna have to pull aggregate off every now and then so that we can see what's what. Again, this is a rough. That's all right. We know that we got to recut. And we know that's going to get that work all the way from that bevel down. So that's all right. We've chosen this work. I'm going to just pull this paper against that edge to see if it catches both ways. No catching. And I don't visually see it anywhere. So those are good indicators that we've solved at least that part of the problem. Now we've got to solve the issues that the fix created, which is we don't have a sharp edge anymore. But we all know how to do that. I'm gonna go to this 110. It's gonna be real rough. It's gonna sound real rough. I'm gonna be mindful to go the right way this time. Sometimes I'll be tripping. Sometimes you just want to go the way that it feels easier to do the thing, you know? I would suggest you keep trying ways until you figure out a way to comfortably do it right. That's not for me. All right. Now we're going to move into some actual sandpaper. We're going to go to the 320. We're going to spend a little bit of time on that because that's a big jump from 120 to 320. So we're going to make sure we get down to that cut. But once we do, we should move fairly quickly through the rest of the grits. I'm not gonna go on this razor edge because we didn't need to touch that at all to do what we had to do. So we got the 320 block, and the reason it's a block and I'm not just using my fingers is because I need that bevel as flat as possible as I add the tapers into the edge. So this will give me a little bit more security in that, and it'll help me form my edge a little bit better. All the while, as I go, I'm looking at that spot to make sure that as this edge gets more narrow, that I'm not running into that same issue. That I'm not reopening that crack, making sure that I got it. Because it's a really fine hairline crack. It's not going to be readily, easily detectable. Not as great with my left hand with this, but I imagine it's kind of thing lefties deal with their whole lives. We're writing our language in the wrong direction for them. Seems like we got good stuff. Looks like we got rid of it. Alright, move up to the higher grits. We'll go to the 6, and then we'll jump from 6 to 12. You know how we do. Line them all up so we don't get lost. That's the 3000. That's at the end. That's 100. That's on that end of the spectrum. 1200 grit can go right in there. It's fine. But that's better. And there's a 600 somewhere. And there it is. And there's a 2000 somewhere. It is going to get flat. There it is. All right. We just came off 320. We'll go straight to the 600. Squirt a little bit of good stuff on it. Juice it up. Remember, we had to recut that edge. We flattened it out. So we want to be very intentional about this part. Because we may not have an edge yet. If I had already pre-soaked them, I would have gone to my whetstones for this part right here. Just because they're particularly good. If I can be aggressive, I need to be aggressive about the edge. The whetstones handle that pretty well. Alright, let's check this real quick. See if we do have an edge or not. Because we need to know. If we don't, we need to get backwards and redefine that. We won't do anything spectacular with it at this stage, but if it won't cut at this stage, it won't cut later either. See, it's not
edged up yet. Go backwards, get back to that 120. That 120. I'm putting emphasis on the flat. I'm looking for a burr. I'm gonna rough up everything else, but it gotta come back up the guts anyway, so that's what we gotta do. Get that edge. Get that edge. This grit is almost as rough as a file. Almost. It's not quite as toothy. Don't beat up my edge quite as bad. But it is pretty good at pulling material. You can sort of see it. Integrating now. Hey Wes, what's up? Knots, how you doing? It says I gotta go. I'm like talking to Hobby Lobby and looking around. Yeah, I do too. I love Hobby Lobby. But it cost me, been years since I've seen one. We just got one last year. Stamps last forever unless you lend them out. You may have missed too much of that conversation to jump in, huh? Why did I have a camera aimed at me this whole time? Crazy. Tripping. I'll show you a process. What we're hoping to do is work our way to a burr. Once we got a burr, we know we have an edge. They come together, literally. And once we have an edge, then we got something to sharpen. Right now, we're creating an edge, or recreating an edge, until we have something to sharpen. I feel like we're getting there. I know it in my spirit. Because, you know, you can sharpen a knife on the curb on the side of the street. It's just going to be a jagged edge. It could be sharp, it won't be jagged. We need to know that we got an edge. And once we do, then we focus on getting a sharp one.
telling us we got an edge. This ain't sharp now. That is a different animal. So now, we'll go after that. Get back to those blocks we just discarded. Pulling this way just to integrate the two. Do that better for me. That's what we want. The more consistent the scratch pattern, whatever stage, at whatever grit, the better it'll be every time you move up. All right. We finally move up to the 300. Sound sharp now. You can hear that bird getting scraped, getting created, getting pulled. Sometimes you gotta adjust down to your angle. And you can pull it clean. It seems redundant until it don't. And you just see the change begin to form in the profile of the metal. Texture of that edge. It's carrying the light. Every stroke you get a little more familiar with the blade, a little bit more capable, whether you know it or not. What you do. And itself is going to make your blade better. So it's got a more experienced guy on it now. Or gal. Hey Jim, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that so much. I'm sorry I missed your comment. I'm trying not to chop my fingers off. But that's what it takes to keep you around. You let me know. I got 10. Well, 9 7/8. 9 7/8. Love we get some new folks in here. So for me, I want to pull towards the handle as I'm pulling towards this edge. And that level of control I need my right hand for. So sometimes you gotta do a little awkward. There's some satisfaction in knowing that you're doing it as right as you can. Right as you can. I'm gonna hit that some more W's and bump up to the 1200. Generally speaking, we start getting shiny around here. This is also how ninjas train in holding their katanas. I'm just kidding, that's total malarkey. It's total malarkey. Grit. 3000 grit. The other with the leather sheath is my favorite. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. We have been in here knife experimenting for some time. I am gonna go get my Magna strap for the strapping of this knife. I think it might serve me here. Magna strap power is back. No, wait. It's a different show. Almost gave out my secret identity. Some of you guys are going to be calling on Metropolis. Alright, Magna strap. Do your Magna thing. I was really going after the katana style with this one, Jam. I really was. I'm glad to hear that. Took a break from editing and just in time to see my favorite knife. Oh, thanks, Smoke. So fun when that's the cool thing about strapping is you can't watch it while you're doing it. You can't. You just have to flip it over and see your results, and it's always like, oh, that's good. You know what I mean? Do the same thing on this side. It had a little imperfection on the edge of this blade, Smoke, and had to recut it. Trying to get ourselves back to sharp. I need to make myself a half blade. If you can find an old-fashioned barber shop, it's really nice. What's that? The other one with the leather sheath? Took a break on it. Oh, barber strap. Oh, I got what you're saying. Yeah, it's fix-it day. It's, we go through and a lot of these things that were good when we put them away. And I use all of these knives. I use everything until they go out the door. As a tool that should be possible. But we use it, you get to look it over closer again, you know what I mean? And you might even look it over again from better eyes than when you made it. And more technique, etc., etc. Like my first dozen knives or so I gave away because they were experiments, and only time was going to tell if they were good knives or not. But since I've learned so many different techniques and treatments and things like that, on some of them I know I didn't do that stuff. And I'm like, oh man, I bet that's not a great knife now. So it's nice to get to the point where you can have the confidence that you did make a good tool because you've proven it to yourself by using it over a period of time. It's not much better evidence than that. Let's see if we got it back sharp. We don't know yet. Start light and easy. Handling that pretty good. Thank you for the like, y'all. I appreciate it. Now, this ain't a carver, but if it can carve, you know it's a knife. I just like when I get a little gleam of it, just a little piece of that glisten, you know what I'm saying? And that light hits it just so on that edge. I don't know. I might be the only one that likes that. I'm the only believers in here. I'm not cutting that off. I'm not cutting that off. I found a piece of paper in the trash. It's already been cut by something else. Let's try it though. Still does it. Despite being trampled. So it does that. It doesn't stab effortlessly into butcher block as I'd hope. But it does stick perfectly to the Magnus drop. Anyway, we got us a good edge, ladies and germs, on one of our favorite knives. Thank you for hitting the like button. Sometimes it's easy to forget. I appreciate y'all for the ones of you who don't. Speaking of magnets, this one's got one in it, and it helps this knife stay in its sheath. Beautiful. Now this particular sheath, walnut, purple heart, walnut. This lightning struck madrone, walnut, purple heart, walnut again. So surprisingly ergonomic, this thing. Like you could just carry this. I mean, you look like a troublemaker, but you could carry it. I think I put it on the desk. I like it though. See if anything else over here needs any adjustments or work. Go ahead and get us another coat on here. us another little coat of shininess upon it. Death defense. Hey Tamara, how you doing? Death defense. Oh, let me go ahead and get this face mask off of my head. Let's see what time it is. It may be time to get something to eat in my tummy. But before I do, I'm gonna definitely put some more stuff on this. Where's our stuff? Put stuff on this. Please let me put that please let me. What we're supposed to do now. It was a wonderful song. Wonderful song. Good job, Wes does it. Alright. Put a little bit more stuff on the thing. And put a little more thing on the stuff. Man, I'm glad this magnet's so strong. So good. Such a good holding tool. Alright, now we'll let that dry. If you could build a small desktop display holder, that would be cool. Yeah, I might do that for some knives. This one has a sheath. It's a Skinner, and it's going to be used. But yeah, just building something sort of like that where they can lock onto it. I'll show you a couple. One idea that I did. This knife is waiting on me to afford to ship it back out. Denmark keeps sending it back. But it is one of my very favorites. That finish turned out really good. This is all wood. It's a couple different species, but this is all wood. And of course that's a saw blade as well. And this one, on a desk that doesn't tilt like mine, it would just sit. It's a cool little display. And of course, People's Champ. This is probably one of my most used knives in the shop. That's got its own display. Again, saw blade, repurposed, recut, retreated. Off the look. Oh, thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. I appreciate all y'all, man, who've been in here with me, hanging out. Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Jim. We over here just trying to have some fun and get some cool stuff done. Eventually, this stuff will be up on my website if If I could stop talking about that, I would, but I can't because I got to make sure that I get it up. But yeah, that's one of the faves. But right now, I just saw I was missing a call from a loyal client, and I need to make sure they're okay. And when I come back from eating some food, I'll come hang out with y'all. And yeah, Jim, just follow, and we'll be. I'll be back. I'll be back today, even. If you got time, I got time. And I'll see y'all when I do come back. I'm gonna run right now. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Remember, all of this stuff is doable. It's a series of steps. And if you hang out, I'll show you whatever steps I go through doing whatever it is that I happen to be building. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. You are really, literally the thing that makes this worthwhile, and I don't want to take it light. Thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for putting up with me even when I was beardless. Peace, love, and God, West does it.